These are the generations of Noach. Noach was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noach walked with Elohim. And Noach begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Elohim, and the earth was filled with violence. And Elohim looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noach,
The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make you an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shall you make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which you shall make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shall you make to the ark, and in a cubit shall you finish it above. And the door of the ark shall you set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shall you make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with you will I establish my covenant, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons, and your woman and your sons' women with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall you bring into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto you, to keep them alive. And take unto you of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to you, and it shall be for food for you, and for them.
Thus did Noach according to all that Elohim commanded him. So did he. Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 7. And Yahweh said unto Noach,
Come, you and all your house into the ark, for you have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast you shall take to you by 7s, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth.
And Noach did according unto all that Yahweh commanded him. And Noach was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noach went in, and his sons, and his women, and his sons' women with him, into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creeps upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noach into the ark, the male and the female, as Elohim had commanded Noach. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noach's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noach, Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noach, and Noach's women, and the 3 women of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, of every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noach into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Elohim had commanded him. And Yahweh shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bore up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. And the waters prevailed, and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl, and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heavens, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noach only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 8. And Elohim remembered Noach, and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep, and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from the heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters were decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noach opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noach knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noach removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, the earth was dried. And Elohim spoke unto Noach, saying,
Go forth of the ark, you and your woman, and your sons women with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth.
And Noach went forth, and his sons, and his woman, and his sons' women with him, every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creeps upon the earth after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noach built an altar unto Yahweh, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And Yahweh smelled a sweet savor. And Yahweh said in his heart,
I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living, as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 9. And Elohim blessed Noach and his sons, and said unto them,
Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moves upon the earth, and upon all the fish of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Elohim made he man. And you, be ye fruitful, and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein.
And Elohim spoke unto Noach, and to his sons with him, saying,
And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth.
And Elohim said,
This is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth.
And Elohim said unto Noach,
This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth.
And the sons of Noach that went forth of the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noach, and of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noach began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noach awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said,
Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren.
And he said,
Blessed be Yahweh Elohai of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Elohim shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
And Noach lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noach were 950 years, and he died. Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 10. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noach, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Yaban, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tirach. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarma. The sons of Yaban, Elisha, and Tarshish, and Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the other nations divided in their lands, everyone after his tongue, and after their families, in their nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mitzrayim, and Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Kavta, and Raamah, and Kavteka. And the sons of Raamah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a giant and a hunter in the earth. He was a giant and a hunter before Yahweh. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the giant hunter before Yahweh. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Ashur, and built Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Kelach, and Reset between Nineveh and Kelach. The same is a great city. And Mitzrayim begat Lodim, and Anamim, and Lechavim, and the Naphtuchim, and the Pathrusim, and the Kasluchim, out of whom came Pelishtim, and the Kaphtorim. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Hinite, and the Arvadite, and the Tsemarai, and the Hamathite. And afterward were the families of the Canaanim spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanim was from Sidon, as you come to Gerar, unto Gaza, as you go unto Sodom, and Amorah, and Admah, and Seboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations. And unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born. And the children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Shelach, and Shelach begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Yoktan. And Yoktan begat Almodad, and Shelef, and Chatzarmaveth, and Yerach, and Hadoram, and Uzal, and Dikla, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Yobab. All these were the sons of Yoktan. And their dwelling was for Misha, as you go unto Cepher, a mountain of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, in their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noach, after their generations, in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 11. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another,
Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly.
And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said,
Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto the heavens, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
And Yahweh came down to see the city, and the tower which the children of men built. And Yahweh said,
Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
So Yahweh scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because Yahweh did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did Yahweh scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begot Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begot Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 35 years and begot Shelach. And Arphaxad lived after he begot Shelach 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Shelach lived 30 years and begot Eber. And Shelach lived after he begot Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 34 years and begot Peleg. And Eber lived after he begot Peleg 430 years and begot sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begot Reu 209 years and begot sons and daughters. And Reu lived 32 years and begot Serug. And Reu lived after he begot Serug 207 years and begot sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begot Nahor. And Serug lived after he begot Nahor 200 years and begot sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years and begot Terach. And Nahor lived after he begot Terach 119 years and begot sons and daughters. And Terach lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terach. Terach begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot. And Haran died before his father Terach in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Kasdim. And Abram and Nahor took them women. The name of Abram's woman was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's woman, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Yizkah. But Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terach took Abram his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's woman. And they went forth with them from Ur of the Kasdim to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terach were 205 years, and Terach died in Haran.